There's no fancy. There's no fancy fucking bullshit with this one.
This is real.
All right. Well, I guess I'll post on Instagram that I'm live. That might do some good.
Yeah, let's see if we get anything in here. The most last minute makeshift. Yo, you want to go live?
Oh man, I should probably get the link. That might help. Where's everybody to roast me in the chat?
I'm in the chat.
So you excited for the finale of Andor?
We got 2 more weeks, so I did kind of like last week's arc more than I thought I would.
Oh, get out of here! You're banned.
No.
What up, Galactic?
I mean, I'm gonna watch sometime next week for that because I'm gonna watch your guys' stream first with Roger.
You're gonna be on that.
Am I officially gonna be on it?
Yeah.
Thank God I got the archive book. I'm gonna read that and see if I can ask some questions.
Hell yeah, man.
Ooh, Cantina.
One more week. Yeah, man. Freaking technically for ICCC, I got 2.5 days. So I'm not counting today and tomorrow. I got Monday, Tuesday, half a Wednesday at work, and then I'm gone. Oh, you talking about fucking Andor. See where my mind's at.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, it is next week. I'm bad at math.
Yeah, it's all right because it's still going to be 2 weeks before we fucking watch it because I'm assuming everybody's going to need time to decompress after ICCC.
Absolutely.
Bricks, what up? But yeah, so what did you enjoy about the Andor fucking episodes?
I was just happy to see finally how Mon Mothma left the Senate. I don't know why. That's just like something I've been wanting to watch.
See, that's what I've been seeing everybody post about. But I did see a post earlier that was like, all right, so I hate to be that guy, but you realize that this is all for nothing. Like, after Return of the Jedi, like, they still fall back into the same bullshit.
Well, yeah. No, the New Republic is totally incompetent in the current Disney
yes,
stuff.
dude. Oh my god, that one guy in Ahsoka season 1, I wanted to like go through my screen and just like punch him. I'm like, bro, there's no way. There's no way they got people like this again.
It's just so rough what they do to the New Republic. It's a clown show.
What up, Ryan? Yeah, it's I don't know. I've just been very disappointed with Star Wars lately. Like I've just not been excited for it. Like I mean, I was excited for Tales of the Empire and then disappointed with half of it. I mean, Cad Bane's arc was really, really good. I just
That was
only
sick.
knock I got to give it was I thought we were going to see him get his tubes, but I can deal without it.
Yeah, I don't think we need at that point. And then yeah, even like a checklist of everything we know about the character before we first meet him. Right? That's kind of like what happened with Solo. We have to do everything that we talked about.
Hello, friends.
What up?
Oh, what's up, Clone Force?
Oh,
literally
shit.
Just doing nothing, and then like I was playing Racer Revenge on my PlayStation, and then it crashed, and then this message came in to like come talk, and I was like, yeah, I guess it's time to get off the game. It was all a sign. It was a sign from the cosmic force.
It's like the bat signal.
Yeah.
Oh. How you been, man?
I've been good. I've been I'm reading a new Star Wars book because the High Republic's coming to an end, and that's like my favorite series. But other than that, I've been trying to like when you guys talk about video games, I kind of grew up like really poor, so I only played whatever my older siblings would play, so it wasn't really Star Wars. So I'm trying to like relate to you guys in a way of like Star Wars games. So I'm like I have like Force Unleashed 2 on my PlayStation and stuff, trying to see what you guys like about the games.
Yeah. See, I'm still working my way through some of the games because I didn't have them growing up. Like, I got to play them, but I didn't get to, like play them like I wanted to.
Yeah. I used to rent like for like PlayStation 2 games. I remember like Blockbuster used to have a deal. Like it was like $30 a month. You could grab like 2 games and you could have them for the month.
Oh, dude, that's sick.
That is sick. What?
Like it was pretty, and like at the same time, that was like when GameFly was coming out. Like everybody was like, "Oh, sign up for GameFly and they'll mail
I
you
remember
games."
GameFly.
Kind of like Netflix. So, but again, like I grew up completely different to where like our PS2 was used for like Dance Dance Revolution and Kingdom Hearts.
Sounds about right for the
Yeah.
consoles that
Yeah.
I got, that my cousins and all them had. Thank God for the like 3 friends I had in elementary school that played video games and had cool parents. Well, rich parents, I should say.
Yeah, like I think the first because other than that, I just played sports games. Like I would play Madden or like
I played
MLB
sports.
2K on the Xbox.
Yeah, my cousin, a lot of NFL and Madden games and all that shit. I'm like, God bless, dude. Can we play like that and Transformers? That was like all I
Transformers.
played growing up.
I remember when every movie got a game. So
Yes.
like
They all
the
did.
Incredible Hulk movie came out, and it's like, okay, time to play the Incredible Hulk game.
Bro, I can't lie. I had a blast spending like I couldn't tell you countless weekends just playing the same levels of the Transformers 1 and 2 movie games, bro.
I didn't even know that they had games. That sounds sick.
That was great. And then, like, when everybody else was like, oh, let's get a PS3 or whatever, my sister worked at GameStop, and she's like, we don't need a PS3 or a 360. Let's get a Wii.
No.
So we just played the Wii, and I mean, it was great. Like, I liked playing all the medical games, like Trauma Center and stuff like that, but it wasn't, like, the first time I played Call of Duty was on the Wii. Like I didn't play it on the actual consoles that they were made for. And then I think like 2 years after that, we finally got a 360, and it came with like Lego Indiana Jones and Kung Fu Panda.
That's lit.
Bro, that is literally like I think almost the exact bundle that my fucking shit came with. It is a Lego game and some fucking random game. I don't remember what it was.
To be fair, though, the Lego games are so fun.
They're so fun. You guys ever play Lego Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one was fun too. But Lego Star
Wars. I like the actual the Harry Potter movie games that like they were out for like computer.
Chamber of Secrets was the best one.
Yeah.
Quidditch World Cup was my favorite.
Oh, dude, actually, Quidditch World Cup was amazing.
Yeah,
that was. Those 2 games came out. Those 2 games came out like pretty close to each other, though. So it's like that was a great run. Bam, bam.
Yeah.
Have you guys played the new Quidditch game that they made?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's fun, but I've only played it like 3 times.
Dude, there's like you gotta like level up immediately because there's so many tryhards.
It's ridiculous.
Oh my god, it was it's insane, but it's kind of fun. It's just you need friends to play with, like for games like that, or it just isn't fun. Like it runs out of fun, I guess.
Let's see, chat.
The Wolverine game.
Yeah.
Tales. What did I say? I feel like I might have said
forget.
Tales of the Empire.
Go to his last comment. He talks about playing GTA secretly growing up.
Remember when I was younger, I
used to do that.
Yep.
Yeah. And then somehow, me and my younger brother, I don't know who had it, but it might have been my dad actually. there was a copy of GTA Vice City.
Oh my god, I
PS2.
loved Vice City with
Dude,
the
we
cheat codes.
used to play that all the time. It was so fun. So, Galactic, which GTA game did you sneak out to go play?
Dude, I'll be honest with you. I prefer GTA 4 to GTA 5, though. It was just so much more fun. Me and my friends, and I don't know, maybe we were just more childish. That's why we had more fun with it. But like, we would just run around the map with like rocket launchers trying to find each other.
That's
And like,
GTA,
it was
bro.
on. As soon as you found them, it was on.
Bro, GTA 4 was like the first GTA game I ever played.
And then like GTA 5 comes out for the 360 and the PS3, and then like that's the last one we've got. Like, it's weird. That game has gone on for 3 generation of consoles.
And I guarantee
What year
it'll
did it
be
come
on the
out
next
again?
one.
Well, it came out right before the Xbox One and the PS4 came out, so probably like, what was that, 2012?
Yeah, I want to say something like that.
God.
GTA.
So you're telling me that we saw the crashing of the greatest IP, Star Wars, right all before we got GTA 6.
September 2013. So like 2 months before the original consoles came out. I mean, before the original consoles. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. 2 months before the next generation of consoles.
Vice
Yeah.
City and San Andreas on PS2 and GTA 4 during the early PS3 days.
Good lineup. Yeah, I haven't really played many Star Wars games either before. I'm trying to play more. I downloaded Old Republic.
Bro, fucking last year Xbox did a massive sale. Like every Star Wars game was like $1, $3 max. I
Yeah.
went and downloaded everything that they had available.
I think I downloaded. They were doing something on PlayStation, and it was like I got like Force Unleashed for the first one for like free. So I played like the first level, and then life just got crazy. So I haven't played it over a year. So I got to definitely do it.
Yeah, I got to the Star Destroyer part, and I did it, and then I just haven't played it since.
Yeah,
I was talking to Sklabine yesterday before he popped on the live stream, and we were talking, like, I just downloaded whatever that like Old Republic MMO is, like, that they were showing during Celebration.
Yeah.
I haven't tried it yet.
Oh shit! I was about to ask, how is it?
was that KOTOR?
Yeah. I guess I don't. No, I haven't even, like, I literally haven't loaded up. I just downloaded it. I know they were giving like away some kind of B2 emo, like pet or something. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I wish I had more time to play the Star Wars games. The other night I played a board game, a discontinued Star Wars game at my buddy's house. It's actually like really fun.
This motherfucker says, "Yeah, I want to start playing Star Wars video games more." I was playing a board game.
Yeah.
My buddy was just having a game night, and he was like, "Yo, I have this old discontinued
Those are the best.
board game."
Oh, dude,
Like-
yeah.
So I was like, "Sure." Went over. We played around. It was like really fun. I gotta find out the name of it though. You can buy it for like $100 on eBay.
My version of game nights usually involves like Jackbox Party Pack or something like that.
That was like my first game night I've like done in a long time.
I don't remember the last time I did a game night. Actually, I do. I was like 16. It was at this church that my cousin used to go to, and it was pretty lit. Me and my buddy convinced them to, because they had a pretty decent layout for like snackage and all that good shit, but we convinced them to go get like wings and pizza and shit like that.
It's what God would want.
And they had a bunch of board games, but we just would play Uno for like 4 hours, like every Friday.
Yeah, dude, board games can be fun if it's with the right people. Like, I like playing Cards Against Humanity, but then like it'll
That's
get to the
fun.
point where I'll play with people and they'll be like, I don't want to do the 2-card ones, and then they'll start complaining that like they have too many old cards in their hands. It's like if you would have played the 2-card one, you would have gotten rid of it already.
It's funny when like there's that one friend who like doesn't get picked ever, so they haven't won any rounds, and they're just like, "Does no one find me funny?"
Yeah. Yeah, because you have to play, like, you have to really know who you're playing with in those situations.
Exactly.
Because those people, like, I like it to be kind of literal, like, to make sense, but also be funny, where some people are like, as long as it's funny, it doesn't matter if it makes sense.
If you get like those cards that are just funny no matter what the question is, like
Oh,
you're
God.
good.
Yeah, I have every single expansion pack for that game.
Be cool if you could play it online.
They have a version of it called Evil Apples for online.
That could be fun.
So this is my last Lego set. I built all the other ones during Celebration.
What are you building?
I'm building.
Rex.
Yeah, I'm building Captain Rex.
Oh, that's sick. That's a sick helmet.
This might be the best one that they've done.
What and what is that? It's like $80.
I think so.
Yeah, I have the Vader one.
I have the Vader one as well. It's just in pieces from when I moved, and I don't want to rebuild it. I don't want to have to unbuild what's built just to rebuild it, and I'm not
Same.
That's
smart
me.
enough to figure it out.
That's why I left mine at
Me with
home when
the
I moved.
Kenobi ship.
Yeah, I built it and I left it at home before I moved. I was like, I'm not trying to.
Yeah,
So
because
it's
I
just-
have the Imperial probe droid.
Man, Kendrick, you think Star Trek's better?
Yeah, you can get the hell out of here, Sean.
I haven't seen any Star Trek.
I haven't either. I've seen like some stuff like when they had new releases coming out for the movies. Like you see some YouTube's like the YouTube videos and everything, but I've not seen anything. I can't really judge it, I would say.
Yeah, like, and then the other one that like gets brought up a lot on like the Saturday streams is what Lord of the Rings. I cannot say that
Oh.
I've seen a single movie.
You should.
What, for
You-
Lord of dude, you're not missing out.
Are nerd.
I mean, they're good, but
nerd.
like, if I had
No.
to choose, I'm watching Star Wars over Lord of the Rings any day of the week.
It really depends on my mood because you watch the extended editions of those. You're chilling on your couch. Oh, dude, it's awesome.
Dude, I watched the extended editions and noticed like 2 things that were different,
The
and one of them was
storytelling's so good.
necessary.
I need to read the books for that though.
Yeah.
That's like once I finish all these Legends books, I gotta go read that.
Now, if you want to have a good time and like get drunk or whatever your poison is that you choose to do, if you want to like roast a movie, watch the animated Lord of the Rings. That shit is fucking hilarious.
Oh, the one from the 70s or something?
Yes, bro. That and The Hobbit. The Hobbit from the 70s is really fucking good.
Dude, the animated Lord
Anthony
of the
said
Rings?
animated is peak.
Yeah, bro.
No, it's definitely funny. There's like this one scene where like Gandalf, for some reason, the animated version, he like walks away from one of the hobbits, then he like turns around, he like waves his fingers in his face.
Yes, bro. It does it to Sam.
I'm just like, what the? So random. There's somebody like,
Bro, it's like
messing with him.
you could tell that they didn't have the budget to do it because I know rotoscoping was the fucking way that they animated things back in the day,
Yeah.
but you could just tell that it's like very poorly done, and you could still see the live action people. And I mean, they animated fucking what's the dude's name? Aragorn. He fucking trips on his sword. And they leave it in the movie. I'd pull it up, but I'm not trying to be like Gazer and get a copyright strike on my channel right now.
Hell no. We're in grow mode.
Is that what happened yesterday?
Yes, bro. He
I-
was showing Lord of the Rings, and everybody in the chat was like, "Yo, stream's gone," and then it popped back up.
Yeah, he gotta. When he was showing the Christopher Lee song, I was like, dude, you're gonna play this too long and it's gonna get a copyright notice.
Yeah.
And then like when I was looking at the stream, there was a copyright notice, but it wasn't like a like the band doesn't care, so it was like no action taken.
Yeah, a lot of those you can just fucking just
Remove
edit
it.
out the segment and it fixes it. I can only watch one thing for the rest of my life. What would it be? Lord of the Rings or Star Trek? Star Wars. Nah,
You're
if
you're so
I had to
stubborn.
choose between the two, I'm watching Lord of the Rings.
That's the right answer. Thank you.
Yeah, the 70s Lord of the Rings is like half animated, bro. Fuck it. Hold on. I'm gonna pull up Gollum from it.
Smeagol.
I think it's 77. All right, hold on. I'm trying to get a good. All right. I know what to do. Yes. All right. Share screen.
Oh yeah, it's frog like.
Yeah, that's fucking Gollum, bro. Like
I think it's because
that's
he's like
just-
described to be kind of almost frog-like ish, but not really.
I don't know. I haven't read the books. I own them, but I haven't read them.
I read that part in The Hobbit, and I just gotta like probably reread that.
And then like that's him in the Lord of the Rings movie.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. Andy Serkis does an amazing job.
Well, I'm
That
talking
one.
about the
This
animated.
one.
Yeah, looking
That's
like
better.
a dad. Yeah.
Would you rather watch Harry Potter or Star Wars? Star Wars.
Yeah.
But I love Harry Potter though.
I'm torn because those are like my top two franchises.
I was a big Potterhead like when I was growing
See,
up. Books,
okay, now-
everything.
Now this one, for me, it's like what you said about Lord of the Rings and Star Wars. It depends on what mood I'm in.
This is in the rotation. Depends on the mood. Yeah, like I could turn on a Harry Potter movie like ASAP.
Yeah, I don't ever like find myself doing that. I don't know. Like I like Harry Potter. I just never. I'll be honest with you, it's not too often I find myself just putting on a Star Wars movie either. Like I like Star Wars a lot, but there's so many other movies I haven't seen that like I don't find myself rewatching multiple Star Warses. Even though
fair.
recently I did watch the sequel trilogy again recently just to see if my views have softened up on episode 9, but they haven't. I was more pissed off than I was originally.
It's bad.
But I really enjoy Force Awakens.
Yeah, I don't have. I mean, I've got issues with Force Awakens, but it's mainly because of what comes after the Force Awakens.
So I'm not gonna blame Force Awakens for that. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, and this is where like I differ from a lot of people. I think the sequel trilogy wouldn't be. It's still going to be bad, but it's not going to be as bad as it is now. Had they just continued the story after episode 8, like stuff was already like they already did what they did, but for episode 9 to try to feel like its own trilogy in a movie just doesn't do it, and I think they should have just continued.
I agree. Just because, just see it through at that point. So at least it feels more connected. It feels more like a coherent storyline. We can pick up from where some of those characters left off in a way better way.
I think they also could have rebuilt, like they could have had Luke as a better Force ghost in episode 9 had they not tried to tell an entire story. And then like
That was just key jangling again.
yeah, they were just doing like too many things, and like Palpatine was never a thought to be in the sequels. And then JJ Abrams like, I'm going to bring him back. And also, even though I showed Finn holding a lightsaber, I didn't actually plan for him to be force sensitive, but I guess I'll go back and do that as well.
Yeah, that fucking irritated me, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know like where to begin. Because I mean, that's just like the biggest clickbait of all fucking time.
Yep. And then like to completely forget Lando until the 9th movie, it's like, oh wait, hold on, we need Lando.
But dude,
I'm surprised they didn't kill him.
They didn't treat the original trio right either, so they were definitely not going to treat Lando right if he was like the 4th character.
I think the only one who was okay was Han, because Harrison Ford got exactly what he wanted. He was only coming back to die, and he came back and died. It just sucks that like he didn't get to see Luke or like interact, but also like it also kind of sucks that like him and Leia had to get together and then get divorced or just separate.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were even divorced.
I hated what they did with Han, because he went back to totally what he was.
Nobody learned anything.
Nobody learned anything.
Like Luke makes like Luke's mistake in episode 8 where like he raises his lightsaber against Ben is the same mistake he does against Vader. When he feels that his family's threatened, he leans into the dark side. So it's like, oh, like I can see that Ben's conflicted and he might kill Leia and Han or whatever. And then it's like, I should kill this kid. And it's like, wait, I did the same exact thing against my own father in episode 6. So it's like he didn't learn.
Yeah, no, it was awful. And then Han is back to smuggling now, and they were like, nobody in the galaxy, like, you've cut ties with everybody, all that stuff. Like,
yeah,
how's he back to being like a poor, bad smuggler again? He's not even good anymore.
Yeah, and it's weird that like nobody knows. It's like Han, it's like the Resistance pilot, and it's like no, the smuggler, and it's like it's weird that people know him for two different things.
Well, didn't Rey say like the smuggler, and then
and then Rey was the one that said the smuggler,
which is how the hell would she know? She's been on Jakku her whole life. How would she know about the one? If you're known for being a smuggler, that's not good. But 2, it's like, how does she know him for that? And then
it wasn't her whole life. It was like up until the age. I think she was like 6 when they dropped her off.
How much do you remember from when you were 5, 4?
Yeah, I think 4 through 6. I can have a little bit, but you usually remember the bad things, not the good things. The trauma sticks with you.
They totally just messed with Han though. I know he wanted to die. I know he did, but for the story or at least how they did it was just come on.
And that's I think that's the story I was telling Sklabina yesterday. I said I think the story of the sequels is those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. And that could be the overarching theme. You just don't want to see these characters repeat it. Like these aren't the characters that like I'm okay with the First Order, but Luke making the same mistake after everything he's been through, like Leia making mistakes after everything she's been through, like the galaxy itself could lead itself back towards an imperial regime. Mm-hmm. But you don't want these people to be the ones that made the mistakes to do it.
Exactly. I mean, at that point, I would rather see a different story of them at a different time when they didn't make these mistakes.
Yeah, like give us like Star Wars, like Legends of Korra. Like it's kind of like an Avatar. Like I don't know, I'm going a little nerdy here, but like it's an Avatar-based show, but it's not like the complete sequel to Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Well, see, if you want to show them like making mistakes and all that, do like what Outer Rim said. Do it earlier, not now. I mean, the sequels are what, like. How long are the sequels after Return of the Jedi?
Is it like 40 years?
Like 30 years. It's like 30 years, I think.
Yeah. Give us a story that's like fucking 10 Or 5-10 years after, they're still obviously going to be trying to rebuild shit after years or decades of the Empire shit.
Yep.
I mean, obviously they're going to make mistakes. That's the perfect opportunity to show in Thrawn and all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the mistake he makes with Grogu. Like, since that's only 5 years after Return of the Jedi, like, or I think at that point it's like 7 years, but like that's still
it's
a
like
mistake
5.
he can make.
Yeah, exactly. And even then, in that thing, in that moment, that episode, I was just like, I don't love this direction either, but it's not his fault. It's just because
Yeah.
they're like, we have to put Grogu back with Mando, so they had to find a way to take him back, which was ridiculous.
Well, they also had to set up that Luke was going to make the mistakes he was going to make as well. So it's like Luke can't be like, oh, like you can still love Mando and be a part of this. It's like, no, you actually have to leave. Like, you need to get out of here right now if you still love this man.
Yeah, see, I didn't like that because like from what I've read in the Legends books, like that's not Luke at
Yeah.
all.
It's not.
I mean, for fuck's sakes, he's training Leia in Heir to the Empire while she's pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He trains
I think-
Mara.
From what I'm learning from Legends, like as reading it though, Luke is too much of a warrior in Legends. So like he's not really Jedi-esque. He's like something different, but I don't think that's bad either. I think they could find a way to maybe tone that down just a little bit, but like completely buff it up from what they did in the sequels.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't read that many of the Legends books that contain Luke. But like Heir to the Empire, he is pretty much like a warrior in that. Like that's kind of how they depict him.
I mean, he's
there's
kind of like a
only-
general in the New Republic, pretty much.
Yeah,
Like,
even though he's like left and all that.
yeah. He
That's-
works with them all the time. That's really what it is, and he's still like learning a lot about the Force. 5 years, 10 years after.
He's still learning
He fought
about
the Empire.
everything. I mean, there's that scene in the cantina where I forget. I think it's a Rodian and somebody else, but they're having a dispute over an Imperial credits.
Oh my God, yes, I remember this.
And he's like, "Oh fuck, Ben and Yoda didn't train me about this. Who
Yep.
what?
Yep.
Why do I have to deal with shit like this?"
And he had to decide like who would get compensated and how, and it was just he was like bugging for a little bit.
Yeah, what did Cantina say here? The prequels were a bonding moment for me as a young kid. After my parents separated, that's pretty much how I got introduced into Star Wars. Yeah, trauma bonding, nothing better. It says just put Sebastian Stan in as Luke and the solo actor in as Han, then you just need a convincing Leia. And it sucks because they can't use Billy Lord because Billy Lord appears in the sequels.
I think he used Billy Lord.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, well, Andy Serkis appears. Everybody kind of appears multiple times in different roles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think they do have to do something like that. It just, I think I posed this question to Gazer on one of his streams. It's like, would any, like, if they give you the Luke that everybody wanted, even for a moment, like, doesn't it just dilute the fact because you know where he leads? Or do you just say, hey, I'm glad that I got it for this period of time?
I'd rather have
Was
it
there-
for the period of time.
Yeah, because they're not going to retcon the sequels. And I was actually saying, like though the sequels aren't good, I don't think we can forget them because it's important to pass it on to the next generation. I think there are, like, the original 6 are better, but like you don't know what connects the next generation to Star Wars, and if you try to alienate them from that, you could just doom Star Wars irreparably. So you have to find a way to introduce them to it so that it can live on. But it does suck that they're, for like, the original 6 have their issues in different ways, but it just sucks that, like, for the first time it was like, okay, I can't see the light in these movies. So like it is harder to pass it on, but I think we have to learn from it or we're doomed to repeat it.
Yeah.
I hear you on that. No, and that's a good point. I would just say for younger generation of Star Wars fans, I feel like the sequels have unfortunately failed at capturing a big young generation though. Like a lot of the young kids they're all Marvel kids, right? Or they're not Star Wars kids though. So
they're all Roblox kids.
Yeah.
If they are Star Wars kids, it's Mando because of Grogu.
Yeah, my
Exactly.
nephew is a huge my niece is a huge Rey fan, and my nephew is big into Kylo Ren. And like when I took him to see Revenge of the Sith, like his only real thing was I didn't realize how many memes were in this thing. Like he didn't go, "Wow, this was amazing." He actually still would prefer to see Kylo Ren, and I was like, "Okay, well, if that's your connection to Star Wars, then I'm going to cultivate that for you. I'm not going to be like, well, I don't like it, so you can't watch it," because then that's what I'm saying. Like that's how you doom future fans. What the hell did I just mess up here?
I mean,
Yeah, Star Wars.
Fortnite,
Fortnite.
yeah.
I'm
Fortnite
a
kids
Fortnite
for
kid,
sure.
dude. I've been playing Fortnite religiously this season.
I need to hop on it and start grinding.
It's so the sniper is so overpowered because it just shoots multiple times.
Imagine a Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones styled Old Republic movie or series begins by the narrator talking about how it's an old tale, like opening up an old holocron or old books.
Get
Dude,
in
I'm
line.
down.
Get in line. We're all wanting that.
Who was it that on the stream keeps saying that like Game of Thrones ruined television? It was somebody from last Saturday. I just don't know his name. It was like the first time I've talked to him. I don't know who it is, but he was kind of say like everybody's big thing now is like that because that comment pops up a lot. It's like, what if there's a Game of Thrones this or a Game of Thrones that? It's like people want everything to kind of be the first 7 seasons of Game of Thrones because I think people sometimes forget how that show ended.
Oh, people remember how it ended. It comes up with it. It comes up every time it get people like are like Game of Thrones this, Game of Thrones
I'm
that.
sure people would love to forget how that show ended. I personally didn't see it. I haven't watched Game of Thrones, but I have the internet. So
it's awesome.
They just rushed it.
Oh, of course they did because they wanted to do a Star Wars trilogy. That Kathleen Kennedy told them about.
And then they got fired. They got fired for it.
Yeah, exactly. Working with Kathleen Kennedy, chef's kiss.
Yeah, I don't know. I was telling Scobine this yesterday as well while we were playing Fortnite. Was that I feel like the Acolyte wouldn't have as much hate as it did if Amanda Stenberg and sure, but like if Amanda Stenberg and Leslie Henlon would have just shut the hell up for like at least 10 minutes.
Yeah,
like the fact that
that's true.
The fact that you made it like an argument at every turn, like just put people off before they'd even watched it.
I mean, yeah, it's like Brie Larson with Captain Marvel. It's the same thing.
I actually didn't even see any of her stuff, but I haven't. But I have heard like a lot about her comments. Because honestly, that Marvel show that they made with whatever that girl's was, like I thought that was a pretty interesting show. But that was pretty much the last Marvel thing I watched because I think Disney Plus diluted some of the content.
A lot of the content. Disney Plus has been the reason for all this downfall in a big way. Too much content, not enough quality.
Yeah, and like you really, in a sense, like don't know who to blame in general at Disney because like Bob Iger kind of gets a free pass for a lot of things because like of what he was able to do in terms of like bringing Disney back from like the brink of destruction. But like it was like Disney Plus and stuff like that was his brainchild before he left, and then they let the money hungry Bob Chapek take it over, and then he lied to investors about the Disney Plus numbers. But like Bob Iger still holds responsibility for the failures at Disney. And I think in recent interviews he's really owned up to that. Like, hey, we're going to get back to the magic that once made Disney. Like, it's going to be more movie based. But that comment was just made like a year ago. So I think it's going to take a couple years before we see any of what was just said take any kind of like to see any fruition
For
it.
sure. No, it's going to be a while until that stuff is really set in place. I mean, stuff for Marvel right now is still from that like phase 4 think tank. You know, like they're still have to release Ironheart. They still going to release a few other things that were kind of like already made for a few years. And then they're going to get back to form. And then I think Marvel will get back to form quicker, a lot quicker than Star Wars will. Because you know, Marvel and Kevin Feige definitely have a little bit more of an idea of what's going on. I think Kathleen still is holding that up, and I think Iger is going to be happy when she finally leaves.
Doesn't Iger have the power to get rid of her ass?
He's more focused on
She's
leaving. He doesn't want to
very
be
powerful
back.
for some reason. Trust me. No one knows how.
So I could be wrong, but I'm almost positive that when they were selling Lucasfilm, that she was put in place by
She
George
was.
Lucas.
Iger was a little bit caught off by that.
So I think that's where, so, and Bob Iger talks about it in his book, and I think this is why he did it. George Lucas hands him the script to the sequels, and Bob Iger's George Lucas is like, okay, when do we get to work? And Bob Iger's like, dude, you sold the company. Like, no, like we're not doing this. Like go live your life. Because honestly, I think had George Lucas produced the sequels, I think he would have died. Star Wars has almost killed that man multiple times. So, but for Bob Iger to pretty much throw away his vision of the sequels, and we'll never know what that was like, what was in there. Like that was a huge mistake. And I think when he was realizing like he was being disregarded by Bob Iger, he was like, you know what? I'm just going to put Kathleen Kennedy in place. Like, fuck you. And then just made it so like she's kind of untouchable. But all that stuff to remove somebody like her, like I don't think Bob Iger can just do it. Like I think that's like a board scenario.
Yeah, but like I think people definitely over there are like want to get rid of her, but there is something she just hasn't been able to be let go for whatever reason. And I mean, I was with you all the way until you were like, "Oh, George put her in as like an FU to Bob." It's like, he like kind of came to it like, "Oh yeah, like I'm going to sign and Kathleen's going to be the new president." And Bob was like, "Oh, like really?" You know, so I don't know if it was like out of spite he put her up there because he was good friends with Kathleen for years, long time, you know, and she worked with them on a lot of great movies and stuff. So I think he just made a bad judgment call.
Yeah, I mean, you never know because, like, I don't know. I mean, I'll be honest with you, for all the hate that she's gotten, and it's deserved in a lot of cases, in most cases, I think the one thing that she has done well is she's very strong. And she's strong to a fault, but imagine how many other figureheads could take the beating that she takes all the time and just still kind of.
She's still making money though.
So I don't know. Maybe
she's
that
making money.
decision.
I mean, like she likes producing movies, so she's doing what she's doing. I mean, I'm sure she gets bubbled up all the bad things people say about her. Like she can't not know for sure. But I don't know if I feel bad for her or think like, oh, no one else could do it. It's like hopefully no one else would put themselves in that position.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying I feel bad for her. I'm just saying like that could be one of the decisions. Like he was like, I need somebody strong because like, do you think now we could also say Dave Filoni might not have made all the mistakes that she made, but like, do you think Dave could handle this amount of abuse?
Not really, no, but also like I don't even know if I want Dave to be co-president either, or president either.
No,
Unfortunately,
I don't want Dave to be president. I want him to stay where he's at because
I want him to be
I want
the
him to help
story
with
guy.
the story stuff, because even some of his own story stuff, it's a little bit too much of like leaving stuff up for interpretation. Not all the stories
about
make
to say
total
that.
sense. Like I'm falling out. I've fallen out of kind of liking with his writing stuff. Like Clone Wars, he did some great stuff in Clone Wars, and then there's some okay stuff in Clone Wars. But overall, I have not loved what Filoni's been doing, especially sometimes with the canon.
Yeah, he's better when he's at his best when he works on the characters he created for Clone Wars. When he has to do other things, he kind of gets lost. I think that's where John just works. Like Jon Favreau just comes in well at. I think he's
John
the
would be a
right
big
guy to
help,
do it.
but for a lot of the insiders, John's like, I'm not doing it. John makes way more money now also than even Kathy does. I mean, he's really just like a Disney guy, I think, at this point, for just being that creative force with Marvel, with Star Wars, with Lion King. Like, he does not want to do the president job.
And that's the issue. I think somebody should also that should be the job.
Oh
that
yeah,
everybody should be.
they've had a problem with that too, because it sounds like too in some of the interviews that she's done, they've been like looking for a replacement or one or two people to kind of bring up and put in that role. So it doesn't seem like anyone wants this job.
Yeah, it is, and it sucks because this should be. I've said it before. Star Wars should be the main part of that acquisition, and it should be the thing that makes them the most money. But obviously, like I've said it before, ILM is so much it's kind of more of an important acquisition. As long as they can keep milking that train, it sucks that Star Wars kind of falls by.
Well, yeah, I agree, because they've turned the money making cash cow into something that is nowhere close to as good as it could be for them. But also, yeah, the ILM thing, when you pointed out a few streams ago, I thought that was a really good point, because I never thought of it that way. It's like just when any normal company buys another company, but usually sometimes for a piece of technology or a process they have. And then they kind of break up the other stuff.
Yeah, because the ILM thing gives them access to every movie ever.
It's sick. I mean, the technology George was able to foster and get put into the movie scene, or like just entertainment scene, is amazing. Like finding out that like he's like, I think the one who started THX, like the sound thing and like all that.
Yeah.
He put the video quality and sound quality like laws into place for like if you're going to show movies in movie theaters, like all of your experience in movie theaters is so much of his to George's credit.
Oh yeah.
Freaking awesome.
Yeah, and I think that's why like my viewing experience of Revenge of the Sith wasn't that good recently. The audio was kind of bad, and it's like I wonder if they just disregarded that old sheet that they had that George sent out to every theater and was like, hey, this is the correct sound format for this movie, because like the audio in my theater was
that stinks. In my theater, it was loud. It was sick.
And it was like, it's a higher end AMC too. So it wasn't like a local mom and pop thing, like where they don't have a whole lot of money. Like this was an actual, this was an actual AMC theater that makes a good bit of money.
Man, yeah, in my theater, it was loud. It was sick. Like I heard so many different parts of that movie that I never heard before.
But you never heard Palpatine's voice talking to Anakin until I pointed it out the other day.
That's true. I just for some reason I didn't remember that you heard his voice in that scene. I don't know what I was thinking, but
we're sitting in the chair in the council chambers, and Palpatine's like, "Hey, bitch, they about to kill me. You know that, right?"
Yeah. Yep. They're doing it. The Jedi are taking over.
But that scene, that was sick.
He's too dangerous to be left alive. It's funny, like watching that again. Like I didn't realize because I was young when I saw it the first time, and I just kind of haven't picked up on it afterwards. Like he, Sidious convinces Anakin to kill Dooku because he says he's too
Yes.
dangerous to be left alive. But then when Mace says it, he's like, "No, like we have to. Like I need him."
Yeah, I picked up on that recently too. I was like, oh wow, said the same exact thing.
Yeah, he probably went in to investigate the wreckage of the
Mustang
Invisible Hand
Kyle.
and saw some hollow recordings. He's like, you know what? Something's because in the book he's like something's going on between Anakin and Palpatine,
Mm-hmm.
and then when he finally like has that moment of clarity when he's fighting Palps, probably was like, all right, this is the last ditch effort. It worked for fucking Palps. Maybe it'll work here.
Yeah. I think that I was talking to a guy that me and Star Wars Closet know. His name is Original Trilogy Talk, and that's like his main focus. And I was asking him like how he felt about that scene with Mace. Like because like when you watch the original trilogy and you don't know the prequels, like Sidious is just kind of disfigured. And I was like, how does it feel to know that like Sidious disfigured himself? And he was like he said that scene kind of diluted Sidious in a way because in all three trilogies he hurts himself with his own Force lightning. Like he's using the Force lightning when he gets thrown into the reactor shaft in the originals. He disfigures himself in Episode 3, and then hopefully he kills himself in Episode 9. But somehow he could return. So it's like, dude, this guy just keeps like one of the greatest force powers out there, and like it makes it look like Sidious cannot.
But I feel like that
control it.
also could speak to a core thing in the dark side, right? Like power and just like unleashing, being selfish, like thinking you're going to destroy everything, but it really destroys you, right? Like I think like
Yeah.
Force lightning is a very dangerous force ability, right? And if it, you know, it could still mess you up if not used properly. And when you're blinded by that much rage, especially in Episode 6, he was just so rageful. Like if you like, it even describes it as him being like just so enthralled in the dark side, he's not even paying attention. And that's when Vader scoops him up and just like yeet. But but then even in Revenge of the Sith, it's just blinded by rage, and it's just dark side will destroy you.
No. No.
I saw a post on Instagram and it said try to summarize up all three of the Star Wars trilogies, and it said Palpatine just getting mad and trying to get struck down.
Oh my god.
It's funny though, because like the Episode 3 was the first movie I ever experienced with the good guys losing. Like where it's like, well, Obi-Wan just pretty much disfigured Anakin. Well, not pretty much. He did disfigure Anakin and he won, but he lost. Like it's the first time that like the heroes lose.
Cinema.
And that was my first experience with that. I was like, that was great.
Yeah,
Revenge of the Sith walked so Endgame could Infinity War could run.
Yeah.
Clip that. Dude, I love Revenge of the Sith, man. Like that. It's so good. And there's still so many pieces of that story that were recorded, filmed, and not put in the movie. It could be like 4 hours long.
That's true.
I want the deleted NSYNC scene from Attack.
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
NSYNC was supposed to be at the Battle of Geonosis, but the media found out and got pissed off about it. So George cut the scene from the movie. But yeah, there is a scene where the members of NSYNC are Jedi at the Battle of Geonosis.
Cool.
Yeah, I want that deleted scene to
Yeah, I mean, as long as
back. I
it's
just want
like
to
just
see it.
kind of like a cool little cameo thing, like where it's like you just see them
want-
fighting somewhere. You're just like, oh yeah, that's the NSYNC guys. That'd be cool.
I want to see him doing the bye 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 dance while just absolutely slaughtering Geonosians.
Bye 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 bye, and then they just get blown up by like a droideka or something. Like,
All right, let's see if we can get some viewers in here and some trolls.
all right, but let's read some of these.
Star Wars
love
theory
those.
should be the new Lucasfilm president.
No, he shouldn't be, but he should be definitely in that creative room for sure with story.
And the shills will riot.
I think he's. I still watch his videos, but he's so high on himself. Like I think he's more into his fan films than he is into.
He's
Star
talked about
Wars.
that though. Like he's just like, I just, so many fans are pretty much making so much good Star Wars content, including him. He's like, I'm just gonna focus on making my Star Wars stories then.
That was the original focus of his channel, anyway. It just. I think he's kind of, in my opinion, I feel like he's lost the plot a little bit in recent years. Well, I guess you can't lose the plot when there's no source material.
I've been watching Theory since he started his channel. So like lore channel to what he's doing now. It's been interesting, but I mean, I can't wait for his Vader films to come out though. Those are going to be cool. I mean, if someone can make good Star Wars content, which so many channels are doing now, like I'm all for it.
Fucking CB in the building. What up, bud? You would get Star Wars back on track.
He could help.
He was a writer.
See, if there was somebody who I think could help in terms of lore-based stuff, I think it would actually be Stupendous.
Yes.
Stupendous
would be good.
Guy.
I mean, I think Theory would be good to have in that room. I mean, Sam Witwer should be more involved also. Just like I feel like he really knows his stuff in a good way. I mean, the fans like him a lot too.
I think a lot of the big YouTube channels all know the lore pretty well. So like even like Star Wars Explained, they in theory do not get along at all. So they would never work together. But like I think they all have a very good understanding of the lore.
I think Josh from Den of Nerds would be cool to get involved too. He knows his shit.
I haven't watched much of his stuff other than when he was like doing stuff with Theory. But it looks like he's like really into like whatever.
That was like part of last year. Yeah, he's working on a comic called Unity. I think the first story or the first issue came out. I bought it. It's good. I mean, I like it, but he's really doing a lot with the channel and stuff. So, but he's still trying to work on that comic.
Sure.
I tried to get into comics, but like I feel like that's like just a microtransaction thing. Like it's like media microtransactions. You never like it takes forever until you get the full story, and then like you have to buy multiple issues, and by the time you should like they could have just made a book.
Well, you can buy a lot of those storylines or issues like all in one. You can do that.
Yeah, they sell like omnibuses for like $50.
Comics are good.
I kind of agree with Clone Force. I feel like they could just, already have everything made and just release the omnibus. Like that's kind of what steers me away from comics is like, oh, you got to read like 150 issues. I'm like, bro, I don't even want to read a normal book. You think I'm going to like, I don't want to read.
I love reading.
You think I'm going to read fucking 150 goddamn comic books? No, bro. I don't care if it's a comic book.
I have like 10 issues of the High Republic, and there's still so many more out there. And I was like, I can't keep doing this, and I keep fucking up this goddamn Lego.
I love reading, man. Like whenever I do get around to it. So I don't have a lot of comics. I only have like maybe a handful, but I've read some even online. Like you go on Marvel, you can like subscribe. You can like get like the subscription to like read their comics. It's awesome. Yeah, exactly. Unlimited. And then also Star Wars, just with all the Legends material and all the books and even comics out there, it's like it's kind of cool that there's almost an endless supply. you can read for a long time.
See, I just listen to Comic Story and on YouTube for like Marvel comics and stuff like that.
Comics Explain, that channel, Rob over there, dude, his channel's sick. That's another channel that's so good for comics. Like, he explains everything.
Michael Jackson as Jar Jar.
No,
Too bad he's dead.
Shimona.
Dude, after his death, I fell down like a deep, like Michael Jackson
got
like,
awesome
rabbit
songs.
hole and like wanted to learn about him.
He was so talented though. Some of his songs were so good.
He's so influential, and like it's weird because like there's just those that wanted him to fail. And like I'll say this, he's like if you don't understand his story, he's kind of a weird dude. But like if you understand his story of him just wanting to be a kid and like all the trauma and all the abuse he's faced, you kind of understand why he is the way that he is. But like the fact that like Oprah Winfrey like went out of her way to try to ruin his career, she's like, "No, I'm a friend. I support you, but also like I'm going to
wait,
destroy
hold up.
you."
What? I was
It was
scrolling on
insane.
the chat. I did not catch like any
From
of that.
my point of view, Oprah's evil.
Yeah. Oprah Winfrey paid for like the Leaving Neverland stuff and fell into a lot of the allegations against Michael Jackson, like of his like child abuse stuff, like
Damn.
sexually abusing children, and that was like she tried to like ruin his life at any point, and then like when he had a skin disease called vitiligo, and so like as his skin was getting lighter, she was like, people are saying you're bleaching your skin, which I think he eventually did. But when he was talking to her, he was like, I have a disease, and she was like, yeah, but people are saying you're like, and he's trying to explain this to her, but she just keeps cutting him off, and like you could see him getting upset. It's like, bro, this girl is like saying like, oh my god, like I'm with you, but like is secretly
like
just trying
almost
to
like a hit
destroy
piece type deal, like in an interview.
Yeah, she's a.
I'm gonna make a drink
Sith.
real quick. I'll be right back.
Imagine Revenge
of the Sith in the Vegas Dome. That'd be awesome. I could never afford to go see it, but that is true. The dark side does kill you faster. I forget what book I was reading where I found that out. Den of Nerds was really hating on the new Daredevil. I really liked the new Daredevil. I haven't watched it. I like the old Daredevil.
The old Daredevil, but I only made it like 6 or 7 episodes into the first season. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy it. I just I get distracted very easily, like even with books or shit. Like I got Shadows of the Empire the other day. It's like a 3.5 hour audiobook. Should fly by. Bro, I got so distracted like 45 minutes in.
What Shadows of the
It
Empire?
takes place in between episodes 5 and 6. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's got there's a part where it talks about Vader, why he can't use the dark side to like heal himself. And it talks about Luke forging his kyber crystal for his saber.
Here.
Oh, okay. I'll have to give that a look.
Galactic Cantina started reading Disney books in November. Been addicted with like 25 books read on Audible.
Yeah, dude. That's what you got to do.
Yeah. Dude, honestly, yeah, Galactic Cantina, other than like Audible, like your local library. Because like Audible only gives you like a book a month, and then you have to buy more tokens or whatever. And then the cost of some of those tokens aren't worth the price of the audiobook. So you have to like shop around. So I've just been doing my local library gets pretty much everything I asked them to get in
Hell yeah.
No, I like that. If I had a local library, that'd be a good thing to do. Audible's cool. I've only done it like once or twice, but it's in the car or when if I don't have the book, I'm on like an airplane or something. I'll like listen to the audiobook, or it's good for like a walk. Definitely helps.
Especially because like the Star Wars audiobooks
Yeah,
are
like you
like
got
movies.
full on sound
Like the
effects and
production is
everything.
so well.
It's so good. It's so good.
Like that guy Gazer had on his show. Like
Mark
that
Thompson's
guy
the
is
fucking goat,
amazing.
dude.
Yeah,
Him and Jonathan Davis, my two favorite voice actors on Audible.
I like there's a girl who does some of the High Republic ones. She does a really good job too. I just don't know
So-
her name.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, Galactic Cantina. You should. There's this new app that just came out. I was telling Nerd about it before we got on. It's called the Cantina Archive. It's like a brand new app that's all with Star Wars Legends and Canon books. Like if you want to track the books you've read, if you want to like rate them, if you want to add comments about them, and it can tell you everything in Legends or Canon in timeline order or by era or by release date. You should totally check it out. I downloaded it today. It's really sick.
All right, so Clone Wars, you've
gonna
read a
check it
good
out.
bit of the High Republic stories, right? Like the books and all that.
Every
So,
single book.
That's the golden era of the Jedi. What happens during that period? Like,
So there's these hyperspace marauders called the Nihil, and they're led by this Evereni guy named Markion Rowe, and he pretty much has phase 2 of that is like the prequels to like leading you into why they're called the Nihil, why they become the way that they are. That he has these Force Eaters, called some people they're called the Shriekerai, and his goal is to take over the galaxy, obviously, like every villain. And anytime these things get near the Jedi become completely like delusional and they lose like track of themselves. They can't see the beast because they're just so like overwhelmed with this like sense of dread or darkness and emptiness that they like become delusional, and then these nameless just feast on them, and they turn them into like these ashed husks. Like it pretty much just drains the life force out of them. But the Nihil are like super smart. Like the big thing that's happening in the Outer Rim is that they're expanding into the Outer Rim. The biggest thing in the High Republic that they're doing is they're expanding to the Outer Rim, and they're kind of like touching on these people's territory. And that's when like they make a move and they start their plan against the Republic. So they build like this huge beacon in the Outer Rim called Starlight Beacon, which allows them to communicate from all the way from the core worlds. Well, the Nihil take that down. Like they completely destroy it from the inside. You can kind of see like how they work inside the government as well. So there is a little bit of corruption going on there, but they're not like these people are not force sensitive, and it's not really considered like a global war. Like the Jedi are handling it, but like they have this kind of disaster coalition that the Republic forms, but they don't form an army, which is why like it's kind of different. But it just shows you how powerful even non-Jedi can be. Like if you can understand the weaknesses of the Jedi and where they can falter, like even normal people can take them down. And the biggest thing, so in episode 7, there's that old guy that they talk to, who they don't tell you his name or anything. He's important. He's a San Tekka. And the San Tekka is one of like the huge hyperspace prospecting families. And the Nihil at a very like in their very like early stages capture this force sensitive San Tekka named Mari San Tekka, and she can use her force abilities to create hyperspace paths. So it allows the Nihil to jump in and out of hyperspace pretty much wherever they choose. So they're pretty much hard to catch up with. Eventually, Mari winds up dying because she's like 115 years old by the time they find her. But that's what allows them to be so powerful, because it's like anytime you think you're onto them, they just dip into hyperspace and you don't understand how they're doing it, because the galaxy at large doesn't really know how hyperspace works yet. So there's a lot to it, but it is super dark. Um like the way some of these Jedi die, and it like, even though they're super strong and like they have like these cool ships called like Jedi Vectors, which are powered by their lightsabers and like their force abilities, um it just shows that the Jedi can still be vulnerable, especially to this cosmic power that is like the Force Eaters or the Nameless. Like, it completely drives them insane.
You may have just sold me on starting the High Republic.
Yeah, I have all the ebooks, so if you want it, I can send them to you.
Bro, hell yeah. I'm a look into that because I was really hoping that the Acolyte would kind of be like the kick in the ass to
Yeah,
get me started on it, and then
That's
I
what
watched
Disney
it,
hoped
I
it
was
was going to
like,
be.
that's why I hate that happened, because Vernestra is nothing like what you saw
That's what I
in
heard. She's like so different in
the
Acolyte.
Acolyte. Yeah, because her master winds up dying. So there's a Jedi in the High Republic called Elzar Mann. He is pretty much like the High Republic's Anakin. He's super impulsive and he just does some stupid shit. And ultimately he is the reason why Vernestra's master dies. And Vernestra like doesn't become disillusioned with the Jedi. She just says like, it's not my responsibility to forgive you. You need to learn to like forgive yourself. And but she is the best of what the Jedi stand for in the High Republic. She's super strong. She definitely doubts herself at times because she's only 16. The Acolyte takes place 100 years after that, so she's 116. And I think they just included her just because they wanted to keep somebody from the books.
I think so too.
But
Yeah.
there's also, I think you'll like this guy. His name's Porter Engel, and he's called the Blade of Bardota, and he has this he's in the second phase and the third phase, and he has like this whole arc where like he's trying to figure out what happened to his sister. In the Acolyte, that Jedi, I forget the younger Jedi's name, but he took the Barish vow.
yeah, Torvin.
Well, Porter Engel's sister like is Barish. So she took the Barish vow because of like what the Force Eaters were able to do back in the day, and she wasn't able to trust her abilities in the Force, so she closes herself off from it. And he's been trying to find her for years, and like now, as we're coming to the end, he's about to figure out where his sister is.
Oh shit.
So, and there's so many different things like
Do I have to read any of the fucking comic books to
so I don't read the comic books. There are stories there because like there's a whole arc where the Jedi team up with the Hutts to defeat these force sensitive, or they're not force sensitive, but they're shrouded in the dark side. They're these like carnivorous plants called the Drengir. And so there's like a whole arc of the Jedi working with Jabba the Hutt and stuff like that, which is super cool.
Oh shit.
That sounds pretty cool.
I'm gonna share my screen real quick because this is like the coolest guy in the let's see if it shares. This guy right here named Aslan Rel, he is probably the coolest guy in the High Republic. So the pictures on the left that you see is what he used to look like during Phase 2, like as a younger kid. But he encounters these Force Eaters and completely loses his mind and tries to find a way to defeat them. And he never wants to see them again, so he pops out his own eyes, which is why like this is from like a comic book where he's talking to Yoda, where like he's like, I can see what the Jedi can't, and then he takes off his goggles, but he doesn't have any eyes because he's taken them out.
God.
Yeah,
Jeez Louise.
So he's kind of like the dark side user of the group, but he's not really like he wants to help the Jedi, but he has to leave the Jedi in order to help them. So he kind of falls towards the dark side, but he's not a Sith or anything like that. But he does, dude, he's working with Yoda at one point in the comics, and like he's helping all these people. And Yoda thinks he's actually helping, and then Aslan Rel just slaughters them all. And like Yoda was completely like thrown through a loop. Like he didn't realize that Aslan was planning this the entire time.
Yoda.
Yeah. Yoda. But dude, Yoda's like not super important in the High Republic. Like he's not the Grand Master yet. There's another guy named Pratri Veter, I think his name is. And so Yoda's like just off taking younglings around. Like he's kind of off just fucking around.
Like Michael Jackson? No, kidding.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but no, he's kind of off doing his own thing unless like it really needs him. Which I think it actually, from reading all of it now, besides like the comic books, it has been worth it because like I mean there's I don't know. I think there is a such thing as too much Yoda eventually. Like you want to see how some of the other Jedi work. Like you still see where Yoda goes. So you don't want it to focus on people that would be alive later.
Mm-hmm. After I read a bunch of other legend stuff, which is a lot, I would be open to giving some of those High Republic books a try. You know, I can't say anything because I haven't read it. So
yeah, it's all, I don't know. In my opinion, it's super great. So I guess Star Wars Eclipse was just a CGI showcase showing off what the. I mean, apparently they're going to be at the next.
What, like 3 years?
Yeah, they're going to be at the next Star Wars celebration, but that game should have already come out. But that's like a.
The KOTOR game should have already come out. It's just a remaster. Yeah. Oh my god! But they've had apparently major issues at that studio, and they like transferred over who's gonna like actually make it. Yeah. It's been a crapshoot over there.
Eclipse is pretty much like Star Wars. I don't know who this studio is that's making Eclipse, but this is a brand new studio. I don't think they've made a game before. And it's like interesting. Like, how did you get the rights to build a Star Wars game if you've done nothing before?
Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, I guess that's where it falls down to.
I mean, so the president role is not really creative at all. Like, I think it's in an interview, someone described it as like it's 10% creative and 90% just like business deals, licensing, like maybe some grand plan stuff, but for the company itself, not just like movie storyline, everything, which should be a core part, but still, like it's merchandising everything. So
yeah,
if she approved that, and, you know, and if it stinks, then it's like, well, that makes sense, you know.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see. I mean, only thing I'm happy about is years ago when they took away the exclusive rights from EA, because EA had exclusive rights for all Star Wars games. I wish Lucasfilm Games or Lucasfilm Arts was still making games.
Cantina said it's a remake, not a remaster of KOTOR.
Oh yeah, he's correct. It's a remake, but it's essentially like a remaster with maybe they'll add some other variables or details, but it's just gonna be nice to play overall that game in modern gameplay.
Eclipse is going to be made from the people who made Detroit Become Human and Heavy Rain. I don't know what.
Oh, that's right. And apparently people love Detroit. So that's right. I've
never heard of either one of those.
There's a lot of games I haven't heard of.
Yeah, there's so many games I haven't played. I do this right?
Either of you excited for Ahsoka season 2?
I'm excited for everything that comes out until it gives me a reason not to be. And like I was saying it before, like I was super negative on the Andor, like episodes 1, 2, and 3, because like all those cinematic shots that they did and like the songs, like what was it, like what song did they use? Was it like Fortunate Son or something like that they used to like advertise it? But like,
Yeah, like
no, I
some
don't think
rock
it was
song.
that.
It was
Yeah,
like
they
some
used
rocks. It was like some hop or in the like rock feel type song. It wasn't like a Star Wars type music thing.
yeah, I wanted every 3 episodes to feel like its own season, and only this last arc felt like its own season. So, or to me anyway, and so it's a little disheartening, like what happened with Andor season 2. But when I realized that, like, hey, they thought that season 1 was super entertaining and fast paced, that I was like, okay, I just got to get into this thought process of like Andor season 1, and I've enjoyed it. So, but unless they give me a reason not to enjoy it, I can find enjoyment in almost anything.
I envy you on that.
Yeah.
Same.
fucking
I
can't
envy
Andor,
you.
bro.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Like you could put the accolade on, and I'd find something to be like, okay, but like I wouldn't.
No.
I don't want to watch it again. Like
Yeah. No.
I'd prefer nobody to put it on. But if you said, "Hey, watch this," and tell me like find one good thing, I could do it.
Find one good thing. I mean, I feel like you
Yeah.
could, but
I
yeah.
could just say every episode that Chimera appears.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's my one good thing. Which like that was not like they were like, oh, we don't know who the stranger is. It's like, bro, I knew it was Chimera from the very first
From the
episode.
very start, which goes to I think over the overall crap writing of that show. Like mystery, but like we figure out all the answers to the mystery in the first 1 or 2 episodes. It was just what it was trying to do. It did not do it well at all.
Yep. I'm not gonna lie, Legos are way too freaking intricate sometimes. And like I'm trying to save money for like that $1,000 Death Star, and like I'm struggling with Rex's helmet.
It's like a skill. You just got to keep doing it and then get
Yeah.
better.
Well, you got to think the Death Star is going to be like mainly open, so
Yeah.
It's still gonna be a crap ton of pieces. 1,000.
That's gonna make it no, it's gonna be more than 1,000 pieces. The thing itself was gonna cost $1,000. Because I
Oh,
think
yeah.
this is how many pieces is this? This is 854.
Never mind.
Yeah.
that's a lot more than I thought it was.
I feel like the Andor fans are talking about how it is the greatest Star Wars ever. It almost feels like a cult, where if you don't like it, you don't understand good writing or cinematography. That's
There's-
correct. If
there's-
you
there's
don't like
truth
it,
to
you
that.
suck. If you don't like it, Cantina, just remember it's you. You're the problem. It's me. Hi.
Good one. I don't love it. Like I like parts of Andor, but I don't love it. And if we didn't get any more of it, I would be like, okay, whatever. But if we do get more stuff like it, I would still be like, okay, I'll check it out. But yeah, I don't think it's like the best thing in the entire world. But no, there are parts of it that are done really, really well.
A lot of people are saying like these last 3 episodes were like the best of live action Star Wars. I think it's the best 3 episodes, no, actually, it's not the best 3 episodes of Andor. I think that episode 8, in my opinion, is the best episode of Andor. Not by a lot, but I don't think it's the best episode of live action Star Wars.
Definitely not of live action, but one of the best of the show. Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah,
episodes
finale
8 and 9
finale
together.
of
is a good
Mando.
swing.
Yeah, the season 1 finale of Mando was great, and then the season 2 finale of Mando was also great. Both for totally different reasons.
Yeah.
They say that it was so good because it's so realistic to real world stuff, but that's not what I watch Star Wars for.
I agree with that.
A lot
I totally agree with that,
a lot of people say that Star Wars is mimicking real life. I think real life is mimicking Star Wars. It's like poetry; it rhymes.
I do not think so, but that was good. That was a good one.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that because when I have a shit fucking day and want to escape this shit fucking world, I don't want to turn say I'm walking through my house and I see some shit about a peaceful protest fucking turning violent and everybody getting shot up. I don't want to escape fucking walk into my room and put on Star Wars and watch the exact same thing. Like I'm one of them people. Give me pew pew, fucking sabers and
And the Force.
Jedi
Yeah.
and space monks with fucking family issues, and that's my Star Wars.
I'll put on the Mortis arc from Clone Wars. And just be
Yeah,
like, all right, let's go.
I'm like a history nerd, so I kind of like the real world aspects of it, but I could understand why some people also don't. Like, I thought it was great that like the Gorman massacre happens because they shoot their own guy. Like, it wasn't like the protesters caused it. They were like, "Hey,
It's a
we're
false
gonna
flag.
yeah, it's a false flag," and they just like we're gonna instrument our own thing in order to get what we want. And I thought that was really cool.
I think it's interesting seeing the Empire do that in some capacity, right? Like, I mean, since the first arc, when that was like what they were planning at that boardroom table, it's interesting to see the Empire actually be good, or I mean, like by good, I mean like actually be competent and scary and super organized, which is what we all assumed it was, even though in some of the main movies, like stormtroopers are dumb.
Yeah.
I think I give credit for that, and it's cool to see the rebels actually be like competent in what they're doing as well, and how they formed the alliance we see by the Battle of Yavin. I think it's cool to see that side of things. So it's not bad.
Yeah, because everybody was like, "Oh, this is the first like scene in a while that made stormtroopers feel scary." I'm gonna be honest with you, stormtroopers have never felt scary to me in any
Bro,
movie.
I remember that comment in the chat.
Like, oh my god, it's so scary. Like, bro, I'll tell you what though. I think the one scene that made Vader feel scary was that scene from the Reva show where he like chokes Reva, like where he walks in and he's like, "You were warned," and like puts her up in the air.
I
Like,
think he overreacted, though. I think he should have walked in and still choked her, but I think he should have been more like composed and just like definitely angry as fuck, but like not in that way.
Yeah, I thought that scene was like, I was like, this is the first time I felt frightened by Vader.
See, for me, I think
Not actually frightened, but like I understand the frightened, I guess.
Yeah. I wasn't necessarily frightened, but I've always known that Vader was like, dark, ruthless, fucking all that good shit. But I never thought that I'd see the day where we actually see him like snap a kid's neck on screen. And that was
he's dark, ruthless, but completely against SA.
Vader would never stand for that.
Yeah. That was such an interesting take.
It was a very interesting take. I was like, oh, okay, dude, relax.
That's funny. It's like poetry, it rhymes. Did I just lose a fucking piece to this now? Pew pew, force and incest. Gotta love Star Wars. Yeah. It's like Star Wars is like Alabama.
Stormtroopers are supposed to be goofy like in episode 4 when he hit his head on the door seal. See, that was a mistake though. And
yeah,
that should be a blooper.
That
you call that a budget issue.
And magically, a couple years later, George is spending an extra $150,000 for every shot that Liam Neeson was in because he's so fucking tall.
Yep. But also, like, I don't know what people were saying, like the incest scene. George had always planned for Luke to have a sister. He just didn't originally intend for it to be Leia.
Exactly. He did not intend for it to be Leia. He thought like he was going to bring in someone else, but then he decided to change that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I am not opposed to.
I'm not opposed to kissing my sister.
No, fuck no.
I was gonna be like, "Yo, nerd, what are you gonna say?"
No, I'm not opposed to the original idea of George bringing in another character for Luke's sister. God.
There was another.
That's funny.
Well, anybody got anything else?
No, I'm just chilling.
Yeah, just
I
chilling.
just Ned's like, I want to go. I'm
Yeah.
bored now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm about to hop off and go eat some food. It's been sitting out there for a while calling my name.
Cantina says, hold on.
All right, Cantina, we're holding.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I think Lucasfilm needs to be paying attention to Muff and like realize that like he might actually be a voice actor. Because like his Bantha thing is like stuck in my head. On repeat.
He's good at that.
Dude, he might be on to something.
All right.
Like if somebody does a fan film and he plays like he's like, you know what,
I'm the voice
I'm
actor
going.
for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Speaking of sister, where's Andor's sister? We're never gonna know. We're never gonna
Yeah, I
find
think-
out.
Yeah, I think that was like Marva's thing, like stop looking for your sister, and then he was like, oh, okay.
Imagine if it's Bix all along.
Yeah. Dude,
Jeez.
I just felt like making a joke on Twitter, but they did like an Andor thing in New York, and they had the actress that played Bix, and I was like, hopefully she just doesn't dip like right at the very end, like she did in the show. Like she's like, you know what? Screw this. I'm out. I'm done. I've had enough. Like, way to go.
Good word, y'all. Thank y'all for hopping on tonight, and thank y'all for popping in the chat and everything. That was fucking fun.
Yeah, especially because Gazer's a loser and didn't want to do Nerds Galore tonight. Actually, he didn't even
Gazer.
pop in, but I guess he was. He did say he had something come up, but like, come on, bro, where you at?
Oh shit, MacMan popping in at the fucking end.
Oh my god, MacMan.
Sorry, bud.
We should just do another stream where like the people who sit in the live like the whole time, like we just have them come on. Like we get MacMan in here. Because like Sklabine was just gonna sit in the chat last night. And I was like, bro, just join. Like tell Muff to send you the invite and just get on there. And he was like, I don't have a cool background. I was like, dude, you're gonna make an excuse until you just do it. Just do it.
Oh fuck. But what if Cyril is his sister?
Yeah.
Oh, good word, y'all. Catch y'all in the next one, and fucking, I don't know. Clone Force, are you going to ICCC?
Unfortunately not. I just started a new job and I'm on a probationary period, so I can't take any time off.
Just tell them that. Just call them and tell them that you died.
Yeah. I know. Oh, dude, I had my friend die right before training, and they were like, "Well, he's not an immediate family member," so, and I was like, "Okay,
Jesus.
Damn.
I'm gonna call his family and tell him that my job said, hey, fuck you."
That sucks.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Well,
Yeah, it's like that's a way to kill the vibe.
Yeah.
that's one way to end the stream.
Sorry
Yeah.
about your friend though, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry
it's all good. He's I don't know, he was an interesting dude, but he would understand. Oh shit, Star Wars Closet's here.
Oh god.
Okay, turn it off.
Why is
What up,
everybody
Closet?
popping in at the fucking end of the stream now?
Yeah, did it just like act like we went live? Like they just started pushing the algorithms?
It's like now we'll tell people you're live.
Bro, it's every time. Every time. I mean, I even texted Closet to hop on.
Yeah.
So it's like
Freaking Closet, dude.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like with knowing how early he gets up for work, I am surprised he's awake at the end of the night. Also, like just because I was giving him shit like that one day, like I feel like I just have to always keep it going now until he's like, okay, that's enough. That's enough. You hurt my feelings.
Said I won't let y'all go to bed. I'm in control here. I'll just end the fucking stream.
I am the one who knocks.
Nerd is hungry.
Yeah, I'm a fat ass and I'm hungry, so
Dude, I went to Waffle House for dinner. It was great. The one perk of living in Florida or in the South is that there's Waffle Houses everywhere.
Yep.
Pennsylvania, you can just go to Denny's or fucking IHOP.
Closet. What are you talking? He's saying I did not message him. I'm about to ruin this man's career.
Oh, show the receipts. Show the receipts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going live if you want to pop on at 8:12.
Damn.
Closet was like, sorry, I'm at an OSHA cosplay convention.
Galactic, I'm convinced you just never sleep, bro.
He's got Red Bull.
But all right, before anybody else pops in here, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Most likely after ICCC.